The front door locked behind them with a mechanical click. Marcus turned the handle. It wouldn't budge. The front door locked behind them with a mechanical click. Marcus turned the handle. It wouldn't budge. "Daddy, I'm scared," his daughter Emma whispered. That's when Marcus smelled it. Something sweet, something wrong. He had 4 minutes to save his family, and the person who locked them inside was watching from 800 miles away. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story resonates with you, please subscribe for more unsolved cases. As the Dark Case Files team, we continue to expose the dark side of technology and how the digital world can become a weapon. What Marcus Hayes experienced that night shows how an innocent moving process for a family can turn into a deadly trap. But this story begins much earlier, in a Chicago apartment and with a Zillow listing. 3 weeks ago, Marcus and his wife Jennifer sat at their laptop, browsing rental homes in Austin, Texas. Marcus's new job offer required the family to move 600 miles away. They had 2 children, Emma, 8 years old, and Noah, 5. Their moving budget was tight. Every dollar mattered. "Look at this one," Jennifer said, turning the screen toward Marcus. 4782 Oakwood Drive, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $3,500 a month. The photos look amazing. Marcus studied the pictures. The hardwood floors gleamed. The kitchen was modern, with stainless steel appliances. The backyard had a wide-open space where the kids could play. The house was perfect for their needs. "Who's the landlord?" Marcus asked. Jennifer scrolled down. "Robert Mitchell, verified landlord badge, 5-star reviews. Comments say professional and responsive." Marcus looked at the price again. A bit low for Austin's market, but not outrageous, not low enough to raise suspicion, just reasonable. "Let's reach out," Marcus said. "But we're not sending money without seeing it first." Jennifer nodded. "Of course. But Marcus, we have 2 weeks until we move to Austin. If we wait, we might miss something good." It made sense. Austin's rental market was insane. Good houses went in hours. Marcus looked at Jennifer. In their 8 years of marriage, he'd learned to trust Jennifer's instincts. "Okay," he said finally. "Message the landlord. Ask if we can do a virtual tour." Jennifer turned to the keyboard, typing a message through Zillow's messaging system. A response came within 5 minutes. "Hi. Yes, I can arrange a virtual tour, but I want to be honest with you. I currently have 3 other applications. The person who sends the first deposit and first month's rent will get the house. If you're very confident about the house, we can complete the transaction today. If not, I totally understand, but the house will probably be gone by the end of this week." Marcus and Jennifer stared at the screen. This was a classic sales tactic, creating urgency. But on the other hand, Austin's market really did move that fast. "What do you think?" Jennifer asked. Marcus looked at the photos again. The house was perfect. The price was fair. The landlord was verified. The reviews were positive. What other signs did they need? "How much do we need to send?" he asked. Jennifer calculated. Security deposit is $6,500. First month is $3,500. Total $10,000. Marcus's stomach churned. $10,000 was a huge chunk of their savings. But when they arrived in Austin, they'd need a place anyway. What was the difference between paying now or paying later? "Let me ask something," Marcus said, turning to Jennifer. "If you weren't me, would you trust this house?" Jennifer thought for a moment. "Yes," she said finally. "Everything looks legitimate. Zillow verified. Reviews are real. Photos are professional. The only problem is paying without seeing it." "Thousands of people do that," Marcus said, "especially for interstate moves. We don't have another choice." Jennifer nodded, but hesitation remained on her face. "We have to trust someone, right?" Marcus touched his wife's hand. "Ask the landlord if he can send us a digitally signed lease agreement. Let's get everything in writing." 15 minutes later, a professional-looking lease agreement arrived in their email. It complied with Texas state law and contained all standard provisions. Marcus wasn't a lawyer, but the contract looked legitimate. "Should we send half now, half after we get the keys?" Jennifer suggested. Marcus messaged again. The response was instant. "Sorry, I need the full amount up front. That's the policy. But don't worry, the keys will be in a special lockbox before move-in." Marcus took a deep breath. This was it. Either they'd trust the house, or they'd lose it. "Let's send it," he said. Jennifer initiated the money transfer. Cryptocurrency wallet. Robert Mitchell wanted Bitcoin instead of cash, saying it was more secure. It was a bit odd, but Marcus had read this was becoming increasingly common. $10,000 disappeared with a few clicks. No turning back. "Done," Jennifer said, closing the page. "Now we wait and hope." But hope wasn't what they'd be waiting for. What they should have been waiting for was a trap closing shut. 2 weeks later, the Hayes family loaded their car with the last of their belongings. Emma and Noah were excited in the back seat. A new city, new friends, a new adventure. 2 children unaware of the danger ahead. "Are there cowboys in Austin, Dad?" Noah asked. Marcus smiled at his son through the rearview mirror. "Maybe a few. But you're too young to be a cowboy, buddy." "I can be a cowboy," Emma said. "I love horses." Jennifer turned to her husband, quietly placing her hand on his. "Are you ready?" she whispered. Marcus nodded. "Fresh start. It'll be good for us." The journey from Chicago to Austin took 12 hours. With breaks, rest stops, and countless bathroom stops for the kids, it stretched to 14 hours. Evening came, then night. The kids fell asleep in the back seat. At 20 minutes to midnight, the GPS directed them to Oakwood Drive. Marcus turned onto the street. Quiet, tree-lined, a suburban neighborhood. The houses were spaced out on large lots. It was a nice area. "It should be 4782, Jennifer said, checking house numbers. "There it is." Marcus slowed down, turning into a driveway. The headlights illuminated the front of the house, and Marcus's heart sank. The house was dark, completely dark. No porch light, no window lights. The yard was unkempt, tall grass, wild plants. This wasn't the beautiful landscape from the photos. Is this the same house?" Jennifer asked, panic rising in her voice. Marcus didn't turn off the car's headlights, letting them shine on the house. The paint was peeling, one window was boarded up. This was an abandoned house. "No," Marcus said, his voice hoarse. "This can't be right." Jennifer pulled out her phone, calling Robert Mitchell. The phone rang once, then cut off. She tried again, same thing. Third attempt. "This number is no longer in service." "Marcus," Jennifer's voice trembled. "Wait," Marcus said, getting out of the car and approaching the house. He walked up to the front door, knocked with his fist. "Hello? Anyone here?" Silence. He tried the doorknob. It wasn't locked. The door creaked open. "Marcus, don't go inside," Jennifer called from inside the car. But Marcus was already inside. He turned on his phone's flashlight, sweeping the dark interior. It was empty. No furniture, no people, just empty, dusty rooms. "This is the right address, but—" Marcus stopped. Something was wrong. Finding the house abandoned was terrible, but still explainable. Maybe a mix-up, maybe the wrong address. But then he heard it. A sound behind him. Footsteps. Jennifer and the kids had come inside. "Marcus, what are we going to do?" Jennifer asked, holding Emma's hand. Noah was half asleep, clinging to his mother's leg. "I don't know," Marcus said, "but we need to get out of here. We need to call the police." Click. A mechanical sound. Behind them, Marcus spun around. The front door had closed, completely, and locked. Marcus ran to the door, turned the handle. It wouldn't move. He pushed with his shoulder. Nothing. "Daddy." Emma's voice was small, frightened. "It's okay, sweetie," Marcus said, but it wasn't. Nothing was okay. That's when Marcus caught the smell. Something sweet, faint, but wrong, and he knew. "Jennifer, take the kids upstairs now." The urgency in Marcus's voice made Jennifer's blood freeze. "What's happening?" she asked, but she was already lifting Emma. Noah began crying, half awake. Go now. Marcus ran to the back, tried the back door. Locked. Windows all had interior latches, but the old latches were rusted, wouldn't move. The sweet smell was getting stronger. Marcus recognized it now. It wasn't carbon monoxide. CO is odorless, but this was something else. Natural gas leak. The mercaptan odor added to it. The chemical added to make the silent killer detectable. Someone was pumping gas into the house. Marcus ran upstairs. Jennifer was in the master bedroom with the kids, trying to open a window. It's painted shut, she said, panicked. I can't open it. Marcus examined the window. Thick layers of paint surrounded the frame, deliberate. This window was sealed shut on purpose. Other rooms, Marcus said. Try them all. 3 more bedrooms, all windows the same. Painted shut, sealed, like a prison cell. Marcus, what are we going to do? Jennifer was crying now. Emma was crying too. Noah just kept repeating, I want to go home. Marcus pulled out his phone. No signal. How? They had signal outside. Now inside, nothing. Signal jammer, Marcus whispered. Someone had planned this, every detail thought through. The gas concentration inside the house was increasing. Marcus felt a headache coming on, nausea, the first signs of poisoning. Emma, Marcus said, kneeling down to his daughter's level. I need you to listen to me. You're going to have to be very brave. Understand? Emma nodded, her eyes tearful but focused. We're going to break this window, Marcus said, pointing to the window in the small bedroom, and you're going to get Noah outside. But Daddy, listen to me, Emma. Marcus held his daughter's shoulders. Get Noah outside. Scream for help. Run to the first house you see. Call 911. Do you understand? But you and Mommy? Marcus fought back tears. We'll be right behind you. But first we want Noah safe. Can you do it? Emma nodded, crying but determined. Marcus ran to the bedroom, found an old chair in the corner. The house wasn't completely empty. There were a few abandoned furniture pieces. He lifted the chair, hurled it at the window. The glass shattered. Air rushed in. Clean, cold air. Now, Marcus shouted. Emma, come on. Emma held her brother. Marcus lifted them both to the window. Glass shards were still in the frame, sharp, dangerous. Be careful, Marcus said, taking off his shirt and laying it over the glass. Now climb out. Emma crawled outside, the glass cutting through the shirt underneath. Her small arms trembled, but she was strong. She was on the roof, a single-story addition, about 10 feet high from the ground. Noah, come on, Emma called. Marcus lifted Noah. The boy was crying, wanting his mother, but Marcus pushed him through the window. Emma caught her brother. Jump, Marcus shouted. Both of you, now. Emma hesitated. Daddy, you go, Emma, go. Emma held Noah. They slid to the edge of the roof. Jumped. Marcus looked out the window. The kids tumbled to the ground, but were getting up. Emma grabbed Noah's hand, started running. They were safe. Marcus turned to Jennifer. Now us. But the window was too small and too narrow for both of them. Jennifer understood. No, she said. No, Marcus. Go, Marcus said. The kids need you. They need you. Marcus pushed his wife toward the window. Go. Take care of them. Go. Jennifer climbed out crying. Marcus supported her, got her onto the roof. Jennifer jumped. Now it was just Marcus. And the gas was still rising. Marcus tried to climb through the window. His head fit, his shoulders too wide. He was stuck. Below, Jennifer was screaming. Marcus! Marcus! Marcus pulled back. The window was too small. He couldn't fit through. The headache was unbearable. Now, vision blurring. His legs shook. Marcus collapsed to the floor. His last thought was of his children. They were safe. They'd escaped. He'd done it. Emma Hayes ran 43 steps to 3 houses down. Her feet were bare, her legs bruised, dragging her brother, but she didn't stop. She pounded on the neighbor's door. "Help, please, someone's in there, my mum, my dad." The door opened. An elderly woman, Mrs. Paula Hendricks, 72, had lived in that neighborhood for 30 years. "Oh my God, child. Child, call 911. Emma was crying. In the house, that house. Paula looked where Emma was pointing back. 4782, Oakwood, the abandoned foreclosure house. No one had lived there in years. Paula reached for her phone, called 911. 12 minutes later, fire trucks arrived. Police, ambulances. Jennifer Hayes tried to run back to the house. Officers held her back. "My husband is inside. Marcus, Marcus." The fire department forced the door open, entered wearing gas masks. 2 minutes later, they carried Marcus out. TPR, defibrillator, emergency treatment. But it was too late. Marcus Hayes died in the ambulance. Not carbon monoxide, natural gas concentration knocked him unconscious, then asphyxiation, oxygen deprivation. Jennifer and the kids were in shock but alive. Emma had saved Noah, and Jennifer too, an 8-year-old hero, but her father was gone. Police investigated 4782 Oakwood. The entire house was a trap. Smart lock system. Front door could be locked remotely. Solenoid valve connected to gas line could be activated over the internet. Signal jammer. Disabled cell phones. Windows deliberately sealed shut. This wasn't an accident. This was a death trap. And someone, somewhere, had pressed the start button. The next morning, David Harrington received a phone call. A detective from Austin Police Department. Detective Maria Santos. "Mr. Harrington, I got your name from a colleague. I heard you work on complex cases involving cybercrimes." "I'm listening," David said, making coffee. "A man died. His wife and 2 children almost died. It started with a Zillow scam. But this isn't just fraud. This is an execution." David paused. "Send me the details." An hour later, David was reviewing the file on his screen. Marcus Hayes, Jennifer Hayes, Emma and Noah. He saw their photos, a happy family in their Chicago apartment, and then the crime scene photos. David called Sam Reeves. "Sam, you've got a new case. Austin, Texas. Digital trail, cryptocurrency, smart home hacking. Your specialty. Send it." Sam said, "I'm on it." David then called Elena Cortez. "Elena, victim interviews, a mother and 2 children. An 8-year-old girl broke a window and saved her brother. The father died. Sensitive." "I'm going," Elena said. "And Marcus Chen." "Marcus, I need a profile. Organized, tech-savvy, financial motivation. But this isn't just about money. This is something else." "I'll analyze it," Marcus said. The dark case files team was activated. Sam Reeves began examining the Zillow listing. Robert Mitchell account, fake. Verified badge, fake. Reviews, bot-generated. Photos, stolen from a real estate listing, archived from 2 years ago. Sam traced the IP address, VPN, proxy servers. But Sam was good, very good. The trail went through 6 different countries. Russia, Germany, Singapore, finally Virginia, Langley, Virginia. Sam stopped. "David," she said on the phone, "we have a problem." "What?" "The IP address endpoint is at a government facility." David was silent. "Which facility?" "FBI." David Harrington, Sam Reeves, and Marcus Chen sat in the conference room at Austin Police Headquarters. Detective Maria Santos sat across from them, files spread on the table. "FBI," Santos said skeptically. "Are you sure?" Sam turned her laptop. "The IP address goes to the FBI's Dallas field office server." "I'm not kidding. This could be a mistake," Santos said. "Maybe IP spoofing." "I thought of that," Sam said. "But no, the cybersecurity trails are too specific. Someone used FBI access credentials from inside." David leaned forward. "Detective Santos, have there been other incidents at 4782 Oakwood before?" Santos opened a file. "Yes. 8 previous reports. Over the last 18 months, all the same. Zillow scam. Families paid large deposits, arrived to find the house abandoned. But no deaths, David said. No. Just financial loss. Marcus Hayes is the first death. Marcus Chen reviewed his psychological notes. There's an escalation pattern. First 8 victims just lost money. 9th victim died. Why? What changed? Maybe someone learned something. Elena Cortez said, entering the room. I just got back from victim interviews, and I talked to the 3rd victim, Daniel Park. And, David said, Daniel Park was a former FBI cybercrimes agent. The room went silent. Elena continued. After Daniel retired, he moved to Austin. He and his wife were looking for a house. They fell for the same Zillow scam. Lost $8,000. But Daniel didn't give up. He started investigating, used his connections to trace IP addresses, cryptocurrency wallet chains. And what did he find? David asked. I don't know, but Daniel died 2 months ago. How? Marcus Chen leaned forward. Car accident. Rural area outside Austin. Lost control, hit a tree. He was the only fatality. David and Sam exchanged glances. Is there telematic data? Sam asked. Santos turned to her computer, pulled up the accident report. Vehicle was a 2022 Tesla Model 3. Yes, there should be telematics. Get it, Sam said. An hour later, Sam was examining the Tesla's event data. Here it is, she said, pointing to the screen. 10 seconds before the crash, the vehicle recorded a remote access command. Brakes were disabled. Steering control was overridden. The car was deliberately driven into the tree. Someone killed Daniel, David said. And now they've killed Marcus Hayes, Marcus Chen said, because Marcus became a threat. How? David went back through the files. Marcus Hayes. What did he do? What did he know? Elena looked at her phone. I'm looking at Marcus's work history. He worked for a cybersecurity firm in Chicago. Cloud infrastructure, data encryption. Looking at his last project, a government contract for the FBI. David looked up. What? Marcus Hayes worked on the FBI's cloud storage systems 6 months ago. Data backup protocols. So Marcus had access to FBI systems, Sam said. Yes. And maybe he saw something, or noticed something that someone didn't want him to notice. David stood up. Someone inside the FBI is running this scam. Daniel Park was getting close to discovering it, so he was killed. Marcus Hayes was already inside, saw the systems, so he had to be killed too. But who? Santos asked. Sam turned to her keyboard. I looked at the smart home devices at 4782 Oakwood. The lock system, gas valve, signal jammer, all controlled from a specific account. Account name working on it. The screen changed. Account name is S. Brennan. Registered email, sarah.brennan@fbi.gov. Santos turned to her computer, accessed the FBI personnel database. Sarah Brennan, Special Agent, Dallas Field Office, Cybercrimes Unit. Where did she graduate from? David asked. Carnegie Mellon, Computer Science. 15 years at the FBI. On promotion lists. Clean record. Too clean, Marcus Chen said. No disciplinary actions, no criticism, no red flags. Perfect agent. Too perfect, David said. Check, did she work with Daniel Park? Santos searched. Yes. Sarah Brennan and Daniel Park worked in the same unit for 3 years. They were partners. And Marcus Hayes' FBI project. Were those systems Sarah accessed? Another check. Yes. Sarah Brennan's access logs overlap with the data warehouse Marcus worked on. David leaned back. That's it. Sarah Brennan is running the scam. Daniel was getting close. She killed him. Marcus saw something. She killed him too. But why? Santos asked. Why would an FBI agent run a rental scam? The risk is too high. Money, Sam said, examining cryptocurrency wallet data. 8 victims times average $9,000. But looking at wallet history, much more. Dozens of transactions. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. 4782. Oakwood isn't the only location, David said. That house was just one facility. Sarah's been running this scam nationwide. Different cities, different abandoned houses. Dozens, maybe hundreds of victims. And why did she kill Marcus? Marcus Chen asked again. Sam opened another file. Because Marcus found something in the FBI system. Look at this, Marcus's email archive, 1 week before his death. A memo, sent from Chicago office. Subject, data inconsistency detected. Marcus found uncorrected files in the FBI data warehouse. What kind of files? Financial reports, Sarah Brennan's evidence files, timestamps altered, files deleted. Marcus flagged them, routine audit procedure. But for Sarah, that was a death sentence. David nodded. Sarah panicked. She didn't know how much Marcus knew, but she couldn't take the risk, so she lured Marcus to Austin. The Zillow listing, perfect house, tactics forcing quick decisions. Marcus took the bait, and a family collapsed, Santos said quietly. The room was silent for a moment. Then David stood. We need to find Sarah Brennan, now. Sarah Brennan wasn't at her office. Not at home. Her phone was off. She's running, Santos said. No, Marcus Chen said. She's not running. She's cleaning up. What do you mean? Sarah is organized, planned. When she killed Marcus, she realized Dark Case Files is investigating. She's been watching them. Now she knows we know. So she's destroying evidence. And maybe witnesses. David reached for his phone. Where's Jennifer Hayes? Santos checked. Safe house. Under protection. Kids were sent to their grandmothers in Chicago. Good, they're safe. But there are others. The other 8 victims, find them. Put them all under protection. Now, the next 2 hours were chaos. Austin police located the 8 previous victims. Most were still in Austin. 1 had moved to Dallas, 1 to California. But 1 didn't answer. Daniel Park's widow, Lisa Park. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Find her address, David said. Now, police rushed to Lisa Park's house. They forced the door. Inside, Lisa Park was dead. Overdose, opioids. A note on the table. I can't live without my husband. I'm sorry. But Sam Reeves examined the suicide note. Fingerprints. 2 sets. Lisa's and someone else's. Staged suicide, Sam said. Lisa was murdered. When? David asked. Medical examination. Approximately 4 hours ago. Sarah was here today, David said. She's still nearby. Where could she be? Sam looked at her phone. I'm checking Sarah's credit card records. Last transaction, Austin Bergstrom Airport, 30 minutes ago. She's leaving, Santos said. Let's get her. Rush to the airport. David, Sam, Santos. Weapons, badges, TSA clearance. Inside the terminal, David searched for Sarah Brennan, 42 years old, medium height, black hair. She looked like her FBI photo, professional, clean, harmless. And there she was, Gate 17, about to board, flight to Mexico City. Sarah Brennan, David shouted. Sarah turned. For a moment, their eyes met, and Sarah ran. David chased. Terminal corridors. People scattered. Security shouted. Sarah veered to a side exit. Emergency stairs. David was 10 steps behind. Parking garage roof. Cars. Open air. Escape. Sarah pulled out a car key, jumped into a rental car, started the engine. David jumped in front of the car. Stop! FBI! Stop! Sarah hit the gas. David rolled to the side. The car passed him, but Sam Reeves was faster with the car's technology. All rental cars have GPS, and Sam could hack the car remotely. A few keystrokes. Sarah's car engine stopped. Brakes locked. The car stopped. Santos and teams surrounded Sarah. Guns drawn. Get out. Hands where I can see them. Sarah slowly exited. Hands up. Her face blank. Emotionless. Santos handcuffed her. Sarah Brennan. You're under arrest for the murder of Marcus Hayes, the murder of Lisa Park, the murder of Daniel Park, and 34 counts of fraud. You have the right to remain silent." Sarah said nothing. She just looked at David and smiled. That smile froze David's blood. Sarah wasn't sorry, wasn't worried. She was defiant. "How many more are there, Sarah?" David asked quietly. "How many more houses? How many more victims?" Sarah didn't answer, just smiled. And the police took her away. The trial lasted 8 months. Sarah Brennan's case made national headlines. FBI agent led secret fraud ring. Fake Zillow listings scammed 200+ families. 3 murders. Hundreds of victims. Sarah Brennan's dark story. In court, prosecutors revealed Sarah's operation. Sarah Brennan was an FBI agent for 15 years. Clean record. Good reviews. But secretly, she was under financial pressure. Divorce costs. Gambling addiction. Growing debts. 3 years ago, investigating cybercrime cases, Sarah saw an opportunity. Abandoned foreclosure homes, thousands listed in national databases. Ownerless, empty, perfect staging. Sarah created fake Zillow accounts, listed abandoned houses for rent, collected deposits, disappeared. At first she started small, a few victims, a few $1,000s, but it grew. 50+ houses, 34 states, 200+ victims, total money collected, $1.8 million. Sarah hid the money in offshore crypto wallets, rerouted FBI access, altered logs, the perfect crime. Almost. Then Daniel Park, her former partner, fell for one of her scams. Daniel was unlucky, or unlucky for Sarah. Daniel was an investigator. He followed the trails, got close. Sarah panicked. She had to kill Daniel. Car hacking crash. It looked like a perfect accident. But then came Marcus Hayes. Marcus worked on FBI data systems. He found Sarah's altered files. He didn't realize what he'd found, just flagged inconsistencies. But Sarah couldn't take a risk. Luring Marcus into the trap was easy. Marcus was already moving to Austin. Sarah gave him the perfect house, perfect price, sense of urgency. Marcus bit, and Sarah activated the death trap at 4782. Oakwood. Smart lock. Gas valve. Marcus was supposed to die. It would look like an accident. Gas leak. Abandoned house. But Marcus's wife and children survived. Emma escaped. There were witnesses. And the dark case files team began investigating. In court, Jennifer Hayes testified. Her eyes were tearful, but her voice was strong. Marcus was a good father, a good husband. He was just trying to protect his family. And he did. He saved our children. He sacrificed himself. Sarah Brennan set a death trap for him, but Marcus chose heroism. Emma Hayes, 8 years old, took the stand. The jury cried. "My daddy told me to be brave," Emma said, her voice small but clear. "He told me to save Noah. I did, but I couldn't save Daddy." Sarah Brennan, emotionless and cold throughout the trial, lowered her eyes for the first time. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Verdict: guilty on all charges. Sentence: 2 life sentences plus 45 years federal prison. No parole. As Sarah Brennan was led away, David Harrington sat in the courtroom. Sam Reeves, Elena Cortez, Marcus Chen beside him. The team. "It's over," Sam said. "For one case," David said. "But there are always more. There are always more." Elena nodded. "At least this time we won. Emma and Noah are alive. Jennifer is alive. Marcus died a hero. And 200 families got their money back," Sam said. Sarah's crypto wallets were frozen, used to compensate victims. Marcus Chen closed the files. Understanding Sarah's profile took time, but in the end, she was just a greedy criminal. Smart, yes. Organized, yes. But ultimately, she killed people for money. Nothing else. David stood up. On to the next case. There's always a next one. The team walked out into Austin sunshine. The city didn't care about them. Life continued. But for the Hayes family, nothing would ever be the same. A week later, David visited Jennifer Hayes at her new apartment in Chicago. She'd moved back, close to family. "How are you?" David asked. Jennifer looked out the window. "I don't know. Emma has nightmares. Noah keeps asking where Daddy is. I'm just trying to get through each day." David nodded. "Time helps, slowly, but it does." "Marcus told me something," Jennifer said, her voice breaking. "That night in Chicago, before we sent the money, he said, we have to trust someone, and we trusted the wrong person." "You're not guilty for trusting," David said. "Sarah Brennan was a predator. She targeted vulnerable moments. She targeted families. Marcus did something great. He protected his family. To the end." Jennifer wiped her tears. "Emma talks about him. She says Daddy was a hero. And she's right. He was." As David left, Emma waited in the hallway. The little girl looked up at David. "Mr. Harrington?" "Yes, Emma." "You catch bad people?" "Yes." "With my team?" Emma nodded. "Good. Because the lady who killed my daddy could have killed more people. But you caught her. Thank you." David knelt down. "Emma, you're a hero too. You saved Noah. You kept your mum safe. You're 8 years old and many adults in this world aren't as brave as you." Emma smiled. Small, sad, but real. "When I grow up," Emma said, "I want to be like you. I want to catch bad people." David smiled. "The world needs more people like you, Emma. Maybe one day we'll work together. And maybe that will happen. Maybe years from now, Emma Hayes will become a detective, an investigator. Maybe she'll join Dark Case Files. But for now, an 8-year-old girl and her little brother are alive. Their mother is struggling but standing. And Sarah Brennan will never get out. Justice isn't always perfect. It's not always on time. But this time, it came. Marcus Hayes died. But his family lives. His memory lives. And Sarah Brennan is paying the price for their pain. After this incident, Zillow changed their security protocols. They added warnings to every rental listing. Never send money without seeing the property in person. Rental scams are real. Protect yourself. But the warning came too late for Marcus. Hopefully it's not too late for others. Some heroes die quietly, while saving others. Marcus Hayes was one of them. He saved his children. He saved his wife. He sacrificed himself. And the Dark Case Files team told his story. Because sometimes silent heroes deserve to be heard. Sometimes achieving justice requires teamwork. Sometimes behind a single incident lies a greater darkness. Sarah Brennan scammed 200 families, killed 3 people, but she was caught because the Dark Case Files team never gives up, never forgets, and while they don't always win, this time they won. For Marcus Hayes, for Jennifer Hayes, for Emma and Noah, and for all the victims we don't know about. If this story taught you anything, it's this. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Never send money for something you haven't seen in person. Trust your instincts, and if something feels wrong, it probably is. This story was brought to you by Dark Case Files, the dark side of technology, digital crimes, and unsolved cases. A new story every day. Don't forget to subscribe and tell us in the comments. Have you ever been scammed when sending money for something? How did you protect yourself? Share your experiences. It might help others. See you in the next case. From the Dark Case Files team, have a good day.